Hi, this is episode 18 of my show, and I've decided to change the name of the show from Clobbering Time with Craig to Primetime Wrestling UK. I like the name. I think it's probably better than the other one, and I won't go into the reasons why I changed it, but yeah, let's not go into that. Anyway, I'm going to talk about Bound for Glory first, and then we'll move on to previewing tonight's Hell in a Cell. Right, Bound for Glory. We had the pre-show. You watched all of it, didn't you, Chris?
Yeah.
Right. I know you haven't seen all of it, but
two or three matches.
Well, anyway, the pre-show. They actually showed the pre-show, which was nice to see because the WWE doesn't do that only on YouTube. It was number one contenders match for tag titles, which was Robbie E, Jesse versus Kaz Daniels versus it was Joseph Parks, as I say. And Eric Young versus Chavo Hernandez, and it was a decent match, but I was surprised at who won the bloody match. I mean, who would have thought Robbie E and Jesse?
I actually had, what's them called? Kazarian and the other one.
Kaz and Daniels, yeah. I mean, Robbie and Jesse are funny, but you wouldn't expect them to win the match. They're
rubbish.
It was a good match, but was surprised at who won. And then they went on to fight James Storm and Gunner, and actually won the tag titles. Which do you see the crowd's face? They were like, "What?" They couldn't believe what just happened. I mean, to be honest, I'm glad Gunner and Storm lost the belts because Gunner is holding back Storm big time, and his career's going so far downhill because of that pairing. And you know, if he's going to be in tag team, it only should be really with Robert Roode from now on. But he needs to go back into singles. I mean,
there's no way he's tag team. He was tag team with Bobby Roode because obviously Beer Money, but he's not.
And the one before that.
Yeah, there was who was the guy before? What's his name again? Long-haired guy, wasn't it? I can't fit his name now, but yeah, he's been in a couple of tag teams. But yeah, this was the worst one for him because I don't rate Gunner anyway. But he's better off without that because hopefully they can move on, and I'd like to see him turn heel.
Yeah, he deserves. Yeah, he's a better heel, I think.
He deserves to be in the title picture again as well.
Exactly.
I'm not being biased or anything.
No, of course not. But when you look at what they had in the Bound for Glory series, it wasn't great. I mean, what was the guy from the Gut Check?
Oh.
They had him in it. It was like, why was he in it? Because he don't just come in. How can they put him in a title tournament?
What's his name again?
I can't remember.
It's typical. Whenever I do the show, I always have a brain freeze and forget what their names are.
It just shows you how unmemorable he
Is it
is.
a muscle guy?
The tall guy with dark hair.
Yeah, I know.
I'll remember it once I finish the show. It'll instantly come to me. But yeah, he's disappeared since then. You haven't seen him. He'll probably get released now in TNA.
Where's the other guy gone as well? The big builder, the bodybuilder, whatever his name is.
Bodybuilder?
Is it Rob Terry?
Oh, the British dude. Yeah, yes. Yeah,
Most
he's
of them's gone though, isn't it? Apart from Magnus, I think.
Yeah, well, Doug Williams has been released. Rob Tate's still with them, technically. He hasn't been
But
released yet, but he's just
with
not.
the training thing.
I don't know what they're doing. They just haven't got anything for him. To be honest, he's not a very good wrestler. Even when he came over here a couple of years ago, the crowd was chanting, "You can't wrestle," which is embarrassing. Because I remember Dixie was next to us. She asked the guy next to her what they were saying, and when he told her, she was like, "Oh, okay," and went all quiet. It was a bit embarrassing for her. Yeah, the Knockouts title match, ODB Gail Kim versus Tessmacher.
Yeah.
To be honest, I was expecting Tessmacher to win, and basically Gail Kim won thanks to
Leah Tapper.
Lady Tapper.
Yeah.
Lady Tapper. You can see what they're trying to do with her. They're trying to make her like Kong, but she's not in the same ability as her at all. She doesn't have that same aura about her. She's not a very good wrestler either, I don't think.
I think it's a bit too early for her to go up to the roster.
The other thing was when they put her through over the other one who used to be on NXT.
Oh,
the crowd,
Ace.
yeah, the crowd booed because they're trying to make her what she's not really, and it ain't gonna work.
She's still quite green.
They're trying to make her like the female Diesel, aren't they, sort of thing. But yeah, but yeah, I was I thought if anything she would have helped Tessmacher. It would have made more sense. And I mean, how many times have Gail Kim had the Knockouts title?
But she was the very first one though as well.
Yeah, but she keeps, since she's come back, they keep giving it to her.
When Gail Kim won, and she sort of like hugged her and everything like that, I looked at her and I thought, yeah, that's the type of thing Gail Kim would do, isn't it? Like, but yeah, you know.
But yeah, they haven't got much of a roster at the moment. Knockouts. There's not really anyone else to give the opportunity. They've stuck Velvet in the whole thing with Chris Sabin, and
yeah, I don't really like that.
this you could tell ODB when she won it. It was only temporary. It was only because Mickey was leaving that they took it off of her. What else was there? There was the X Division match with my favourite, Manic, versus Aries, versus Sabin, versus Jeff, versus Joe. Now, I'm not sure why Jeff Hardy was in that, because it's an X Division match. To me, X Division is more like a cruiserweight division, not Jeff Hardy's. Considering he's normally a main eventer, it seems a bit strange.
Yeah, it wasn't Austin Aries though.
Who?
I think they didn't have anything for him, so they just threw him in there.
Yeah, it was like that where they just threw people in. It's like Samoa Joe, he was just there because of...
He's not an X Division.
He used to be though, wasn't he?
Yeah,
He was one of the
but
originals,
you
wasn't he?
If like with his size.
Yeah, it didn't really make
Not
sense.
taking anything, he's a good wrestler, but X Division you kind of feel like they're the lighter weights kind of thing, and he seems to be. I mean, he's good in the matches. But
It was a
he
good
kind
match, yeah. I mean, Manic's a good wrestler, but I just don't like the wrestlers with Marvel type outfits on, bringing that into wrestling. It's not something I like. They can't push their character with it. It's very limited what you can do with someone who's under a mask. I forgot to say who won that. It was Chris Sabin, which I actually predicted he would.
Yeah, see, I didn't think that. I thought
Because Sabin keeps using Velvet as like a shield, doesn't he?
Yeah.
You know what I was expecting? When Velvet was in the ring and Jeff was in front of her, I thought she was going to low blow Jeff and help Sabin win. But she never did. She just stood there, which was a bit
He's
disappointing.
still got the win though, because of her being
Yeah.
in the ring.
Next one was, before we go to Kurt Angle's match, he had his little speech for the Hall of Fame with Sting, and Kurt Angle turned it down, which was strange. Obviously, I presume it's storyline, but it just seems strange to use the Hall of Fame as a storyline for that. It kind of makes a mockery of their Hall of Fame. It's like WWE putting, say, I don't know, Triple H in the Hall of Fame next year, and then he comes out on TV and says, I'm turning it down. It kind of makes a mockery of their Hall of Fame. Yeah, and basically which led to his match with Robert Roode, which was probably the best match of the night, actually. Just, unfortunately, it was a strange ending where Kurt Angle hit the Olympic Slam off the top rope and basically knocked himself out in the process. I don't know how much of it he really was hurt, because TNA put a report out that he had hurt himself but wouldn't take any treatment. So I don't know how much of it was storyline and whether he actually did half knock himself out or what. It was a strange one.
And I think I predicted
Yeah, you said Roode would win, but I thought Kurt would beat him because of the whole Hall of Fame thing. But yeah, it's a strange ending. But yeah, I think Kurt Angle's going to take a break for a while because of his rehab and all that, and I think that's where they're leading to. Personally, I'd like to see him come back to the WWE as like Royal Rumble 30th entrant. His music hits. How cool would that be? Who else was there? There was Sting versus Magnus. I watched this today. I finally got around to watching it. Good match, but I was surprised at the endings. Have you ever seen Sting tap out before?
No. Did Magnus win? Yeah.
Yeah, he got him in like a sort of sharpshooter style move, and Sting tapped out.
I said Magnus would win, didn't I?
Yeah, but I thought it'd be by cheating or something like that. I was a bit. I've never seen Sting tap out before. I thought it was an odd ending.
Yeah. Although I do like Magnus.
Oh yeah, he's doing a lot better than I thought he would when he first came in. 'Cause he was very green at first, and I thought I'm not so sure, but he's gone a long way.
Come a long way from Gladiator.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he does win. Yeah, he's gone a long way since Gladiators, but I wouldn't be surprised if he does win the world title one day. But you can see he's turning heel. 'Cause you see the way he shook Sting's hand half-heartedly, tapped him on the arm and walked off. Yeah, It's like this smug sort of person he's becoming, isn't he?
Yeah.
But I think he's better as a baddie anyway, because of that charisma that he's got.
Who did that in the WWE?
What?
Daniel Bryan. It was, wasn't it, when he won the belt, he started being smug, didn't he?
Yeah, when he
The Land of the Giants. He fought with him with...
when he cashed in on Big Show, yeah, he kept going on about it, didn't he? Being smug, yeah. The main event, Bully Ray versus AJ Styles, which was a good match, but to me it was predictable what was going to happen. And AJ Styles won the world title, which was obvious. And then he did a CM Punk, went in the crowd, hugging everyone, which is like... I wish they wouldn't copy WWE so much sometimes and come up with their own ideas.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it's very similar to that. Yeah, with, what's his name? Knox accidentally clotheslined Bully Ray when he came in. You watch Bully Ray will probably beat him up on in the next couple of weeks or so. Yeah, that was basically Bound for Glory, which it was a decent show overall, I thought.
It was good because they didn't have that much to work with, though, did they? So it was good.
And before I forget, said I'd give him a shout out for this, otherwise he'll moan at me. It was Mario, as you know, was in the front row at TNA, the Bound for Glory.
I saw his mate get a hug.
Yeah, Jeff Hardy gave her a hug, and you could see Mario was surprised, was well excited about it. But yeah, he managed to catch him on TV that bit.
He met everyone.
Well, he did the fan interaction on the Saturday, which anyone that goes to a TNA pay-per-view abroad, even though I've never been to the one, I'd certainly recommend the fan interaction, because as Mario did, he got to meet literally everyone. He got photos with them, autographs, he got to talk to them. There was none of this move along, no photos, just sign signature and bugger off, literally, sort of thing. They get treated a lot better over there than what we ever do.
And for all that, it was just over $100, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was only about, to meet literally everyone, it was only like $100, which to me is well worth it.
I have to do it Bound for Glory. I have to do it. If it's
Yeah.
I have to do it.
Well, what I was thinking of is when, like, WrestleMania, if in the next few years or whatever, if it's somewhere that I'm not nuts on going, like Detroit, then I'll just save my money and go to that. As long as TNA's still going at that point, that is. But yeah. Before I go on to the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view preview for tonight, I thought I'd mention some of the... Actually, before I mention the stuff I got from WE Shop, there was... Have you seen that picture of Mark Henry?
No.
He's cut his hair off. Now, he's gone back to obviously that look he had when he was with the Nation, but he's got this big beard still.
You know they're going to start shouting at him.
So
He dropped it.
he looks like a member of the Wyatt family, basically. He looks so funny. If he trims that beard down, it'll look alright, but the big beard's so bushy, it just looks funny. But I would have thought he'd be coming back soon, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he'll be back. He'll even be back tonight.
Well, I don't know what way they'd bring him back unless they made him a baddie again, which they've done 100 times. Yeah, stuff I got on the WE Shop. I got the white mask, which is very warm to wear because there's no holes on the mouth or the nose. They're basically right on the side of the eyes here. So,
Well, it says improvement, Craig.
yeah, very funny. I thought though, if I wear that for a few minutes, I'll start breathing like Darth Vader because it's so warm. You can't breathe properly. I'm like, and I got the purple Randy Savage shirt,
Wow. See,
Which
I
is
wanted to get that.
really cool.
Get that. Awesome.
Um,
Love Savage.
yeah, the trouble with WE Shop is their shipping is so expensive. You order about 4 things and your shipping's $99, your tax is about $90. It's insane. Also, I got this lantern.
Does it actually light up then? Yeah.
Well, yeah, obviously you
lit
can
up
see it
now.
lit up now.
Show me.
Just look at it. See, you blind sod. And you got this little switch at the back where you can turn it off.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I'm actually using it next to the phone at the moment to try and get a bit of better lighting in here because my room light's rubbish.
That's great.
Yeah, that was what I got from the WE Shop.
Go to Halloween with that. Go trick or treating with it.
Yeah, but I couldn't survive in it though because I can't breathe in it properly. I'd end up collapsing.
You'll be like,
Trick or treat, crash to the floor.
What are you doing
funny. Scared the hell out of some kid, probably.
I actually went trick-or-treating with a thing once. Brilliant.
Well, when I was wearing the mask earlier on, I went downstairs for my mum and just peered round the corner until she looked. It didn't scare her, unfortunately, but it was funny.
Scared one of the cats, though.
Yeah, it scared one of my cats, but... Anyway, tonight's Hell in a Cell, which starts at midnight in the UK, not 1 o'clock, because of the clocks going back yesterday. Did you remember to put your clock back?
Yep, I've done all of that.
Whee.
Although it's weird, because, you know your phone, have you got the weather thing on your phone?
Yeah.
It's saying the old time. It's got
Yeah, but
updated
if you
it.
press on the update thing in the corner of that weather app on your phone, it loads it, updates it, and it'll change it.
Okay, I can try that.
Either that or you just restart your phone.
Yeah.
But anyway, Hell in a Cell pay-per-view tonight. Let's start with... I'm not sure if this match has happened because they've taken it off the lineup. Curtis Axel versus Big E for the IC title, which was meant to be a pre-show, but now it's not showing because they reckon Curtis Axel's injured. So I don't know if they're going to have a match to replace it, or if, like some people are saying, they're just going to talk about Cena coming back and all that stuff, or what. But I guess we'll find out in a bit later on. But it's a shame because I thought it'd been a decent match because I like Big E,
Yeah, and I thought Big E would win.
and I know our friend Helen's not happy about Curtis being Axel being on there. So yeah. Anyway, don't know if that'll happen, but if it does, I still think Curtis Axel will keep the Intercontinental title for a bit longer.
Yeah, because they'll probably build up the whole
Yeah,
thing
they'll build it
with
up. I think Big E will get it eventually, but I think Curtis Axel will cough up the arse and he'll get counted out if the match happens.
What I don't understand, though, is if Curtis Axel is against R-Truth on the UK tour, how are they developing the old storyline with him?
Well, yeah, but it's only a house show, House. It's not on TV, so they don't
But
need
I
to
hope Big E's
bother
like
with that.
over on our side.
Well, yeah, I would think so. If he's building to that, he might get involved. But the thing with house shows is they don't really need to develop feuds, do they? Because that doesn't really count for anything.
Yeah.
Anyway, I only said Brock Lesnar. It's Los Matadors. If only it was Brock Lesnar. Los Matadors against Real Americans. What do you think of the Los Matadors gimmick?
It's alright, but I'm not really a big fan of all that.
No, I was all for putting you on them as the little mascot bull. Put the little mask on your head, you'd be well away. Ole!
If you pay me the money, then yeah, I mean, I'll do that. But,
He's just another Hornswoggle though, isn't it, really? Although at least this one can wrestle, whereas Hornswoggle can't, really.
I find him quite boring.
But yeah, I'm not a fan of the gimmick. It doesn't appeal to me.
Especially when
And
you
we
know
know
who
who
they
they
are.
are anyway, and they didn't appeal to me beforehand, so they're not going to appeal to me now. They've got a mask
To be
or...
fair, they
something over
only
their face.
appealed to you because Rosa was with them.
Well, yeah, I only watched them before because of Rosa. It's the only time I was interested. It's the only reason I wanted them on the WrestleMania main show in Miami was because of Rosa doing her dance. Didn't want to see them. But anyway, I'd imagine Los Matadors will win this match, unfortunately. I'd like to see Real Americans win, but because Los Matadors have only just come in, I'd imagine they'll win the match. Next is the Divas title, which is AJ fighting Brie Bella again. I mean, since AJ's fighting Layla... No, not AJ, sorry. Layla's fighting Brie on our show, and AJ's on a different one. I can't see...
We don't know for sure, though.
Yeah, I mean, but I can't see AJ actually losing the women's belt yet, the Divas title yet.
yeah.
I think she'll hold it a little bit longer. I think she might lose it at Survivor Series. But whether it'll be to a Bella or not is another thing.
Yeah, I personally thought Natty would get a shot.
Well, she might still after this, because I don't think the Bellas as a face is getting over. Because when they won the other day, the crowd briefly cheered and they just went, boom, sunk. It's just they don't get over as face. I much prefer them as heels because the personalities, it can work more with that. The charisma and all that. Yeah. Well, everyone knows I love the Bellas anyway, so I don't care what they are. Even though it might deem me as kissing arse, but I don't care.
This is true.
Mwah!
So what about if I got a retweet? Does that mean that I'm kissing arse then? Yeah.
You're lucky to get a retweet from the Bellas. That's not easy, I tell you. I had one like about a year ago, but it's not an easy thing, that. Anyway, the tag team title match, the Rhodes Brothers versus the Shield versus the Usos.
Yeah, no, I think Rhodes would win that.
Yeah, they can't see them losing it straight away. It's too soon, and I think Usos are just there as part of the match, just to have another team. Yeah, why don't they put primetime players in? 1 minute they're pushing them, the next minute...
Because the Usos are #1 contenders, so they were told like.
I know, but what happens to the primetime players push? All of a sudden, they're being pushed aside. I'd rather they just made primetime players bad again and gave them a feud there.
I can see primetime players maybe getting involved and costing Usos the belts.
I don't know. Well, I'd like to see them go back to being baddies, and they could feud with the Rhodes Brothers. I'd like to see that. They could be a part of the corporate team or something.
Yeah, exactly.
I reckon though, if the Rhodes Brothers lose, when they lose, it might be the whole start of turning them against each other for WrestleMania.
Yeah, but I don't think they'll lose yet. I think if they're going to lose it, it'll be either Survivor Series or the last pay-per-view of the year, or maybe even Royal Rumble.
Well, wasn't it that reports that the Rhodes Brothers winning, or one of the other teams, because there was too many heels with titles?
Yeah.
Apparently, and Vince don't like that, apparently.
But they think, though, that when they do feud with each other, that Goldust will be the one playing the heel. But I'd rather Cody was. Yeah, it'd be interesting, though. But Goldust's doing a lot better than I thought he would.
Yeah.
Considering he's been out of the ring for a while, I thought he'd be a bit off.
Yeah.
But he's actually done better than he was years ago, to be honest.
I'm quite looking.
He's been a good wrestler, though. He's never been a bad wrestler.
Oh, I know. It's just I've never really been into that gimmick.
No,
I'm quite looking forward to seeing him live, because I've never seen him live before.
I just want to hear his music.
You just want to see him put his hands up his chest, innit, Chris?
No, I just want to hear the music.
Goldust!
The best is I watched your DVD when he kissed on the Johnson. That's hilarious.
Actually, I was just thinking, I bet you was one of those near the front when bushwhackers used to come to the ring and used to lick your head.
I don't care them days.
Yeah, not a lot though. They'd have a field day with your head now, wouldn't they? Or one of them would, anyway. Anyway, back to the pay-per-view tonight. CM Punk versus Ryback and Paul Heyman, which it's obvious Punk's going to win, and it's obvious it's Heyman he's going to beat, basically. I mean, they've been doing this feud for a while now, so I don't see them dragging it on for much longer. And I think Punk will, if Punk doesn't get his hands on him tonight, it will be because of someone outside interference, or no, unless they decide to bring Brock Lesnar out or something. I can only see Punk winning.
Imagine if Brock Lesnar comes out and brings the cage apart.
They've done that before, though. So
Yeah, with Kane.
No, I'm talking about the whole Brock Lesnar Punk thing.
Mind you, Lesnar Punk at SummerSlam was good.
It's Axel.
Mate,
Could
I
be
can
a
imagine
fake
you
injury.
watching live. If you hear Lesnar's music, I reckon you're going to start bloody jumping up and down.
Are you watching? You're not watching live tonight, are you?
Yeah, I will watch it.
What did you say?
Shall I do what someone else sometimes does for you and text you and spoil it?
What is it?
I'll leave it to your mate to do that to you. Anyway, on to the SmackDown side of the world title, which is Del Rio versus John Cena.
Come on, Del Rio.
I'm in two minds of what's going to happen. Is personally, I have a feeling Cena's going to win, but then Sandow cashes in, because John Cena. What I might think might happen is Cena wins, then Rio attacks him after and attacks the arm.
Yeah.
When then Sandow will come in and cash in on him, because I don't see Cena actually holding it for long at all because of that injury.
Oh, I do.
I think they'll play into the injury thing.
I thought Cena would lose by submission, and I thought Del Rio will go for the arm the whole match, and then that's when he'll come out and say, maybe he didn't come back too early.
I still think he might win, and then Sandow will take advantage of the injury.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
See, the thing is, though, Sandow's not been on TV for like a few weeks.
Yeah, he's just disappeared,
On
hasn't he?
like Raw or SmackDown, so you never know. It might be a build-up to that. But then you don't know what show he's going to be on either, do you? Like for the house shows.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Well,
announced
they haven't
anything.
given a full lineup, have they? So no one's sure what work's
Because
going to be and
especially
what.
when they haven't actually and actually haven't said that the Alberto Del Rio Cena match is a title. Well, none of them are champions, have they either?
Well, we
Like
don't know
with
yet.
with the Daniel Bryan Orton match.
If Sandow
They
cashes, if Sandow wins, I would imagine he'll be on our show because Randy and Daniel's on the other one.
That's what I'm saying, because no way have they said that the Del Rio Cena match is for the title, so you don't know.
Because I mean, we've got to have one world champion on our show.
Oh yeah.
No, some people might think I'm spoilt and moaning, but yeah, it's just a case of I spend 70 quid and I deserve to have at least one world champion on my show. Just like everyone else deserves to have a good roster when they spend a lot of money. Or whatever the money is, everyone deserves a good show. Yeah, anyway, that's my views. Main event, Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton with Shawn Michaels as the referee.
I think Shawn's going to cost it.
I think he's going to do the sweet chin music on him or something as he goes to knee Randy in the face or something. And Randy will win the title and it'll drag on for... I mean, personally, I'd like to see Shawn Michaels versus Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania, but Shawn said he would never come out of retirement, but I've also heard that he's missing it, so who knows? Whether Shawn could still go after all this time is another thing.
Oh, they were talking.
I'm still going to say, I still think Daniel Bryan's going to win the Royal Rumble, and that's how he's going to get his title shot.
Yeah, probably. What was he going to say?
No, I was going to say, people are talking about possibly having Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, there was talks of Triple H's last match being against Shawn Michaels, but again, that's if Shawn comes out of retirement. Yeah, I mean, time will tell. Obviously, it's too soon to know, but time will tell. But overall, it looks like a decent. It has the potential to be a decent pay-per-view tonight, anyway.
Let's just hope it's better than the last two.
Well, it has the potential. It has the potential to go either way, doesn't it? It's potential to even be good or to go flat on its face, like the pay-per-view a couple of months back did. Night of Champions, yeah. But time will tell, and hopefully it'll be a good show, and hopefully the weather won't affect the signal tonight. Because the bad winds are supposed to start around midnight. It's typical, isn't it? As wrestling starts, the storm starts.
We get a
I think
refund.
I'll be fuming with you.
Well, it's like I said to friend Lisa yesterday, I'm not bothered about the trees coming down, I'm worried about watching the wrestling. I don't care, the trees could fall down, I want my wrestling.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, it's not the trees. You can put them up again. Anyway, that'll be, I think that's 28 minutes, so yeah, that'll do for episode 18 of our show, which is now called Primetime Wrestling UK.
And we might be doing another show during the week, won't we, maybe?
Yeah, maybe on Wednesday or Thursday, talking about the pay-per-view. But we haven't been doing it every week because we don't want to just do it for the sake of it and just ramble and talk rubbish, basically. That's to be meaningful, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But anyway, TNA's on in just over an hour.
Yeah.
And then you got Wrestle Talk, which I know why you're watching it. Francesca.
Let's see if she's on that week.
I don't know if Francesca's on tonight, but...
Yeah, she keeps not being on that much, hasn't she?
Well, I'm watching for Francesca and Lisa, and you're watching for Francesca, so...
But I'm just watching.
You're just
the
watching
programme.
because it's wrestling.
It's a wrestling programme. None of the men do it for me, so I'm just watching for the wrestling.
You have to tell Joel that one day.
Ew.
Easy.
No,
Anyway,
not my type of day.
Anyway, that'll keep me busy up till about 11:30, I think. So, anyway, that's it for this week, and we'll see you during the week.
See you later.
See ya.